All right, let's unpack this. So you've given us a pretty substantial list here, a literal stack of sources detailing dozens of press release distribution platforms.
A lot to sort through.
It really is. And I think if you're like most business owners or, marketers, your brain immediately goes to one place. Press release means media coverage.
Mm-hmm. A newspaper story, maybe?
Exactly. Or maybe a big spike in website traffic. But our mission today is to, well, completely flip that script. We are going to ignore the traditional PR hype entirely. For this deep dive, we're looking at these platforms not as a broadcast tool, but as a crucial, direct, and really actionable local SEO support tool.
And that core distinction is
Yep.
it's absolutely critical. We are not focused on vanity metrics here.
No.
Getting quoted in a big publication, driving general consumer traffic, or,
Yeah.
running a massive brand awareness campaign. The goal here is radical clarity for the SEO practitioner or the small business owner.
Because they care about results.
They care about search engine results,
Yeah.
and this approach just simplifies the entire process.
Exactly. So our specific SEO mission is using these sites for 4 core functions, and I think we need to lock these down right now.
Let's do it.
First, rapid indexation. Second, what you call entity reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Third, establishing those crucial brand, service, and location associations. And finally, driving that essential link and citation diversification.
That's it.
Those 4 things are really the only metrics that matter in this specific context.
And if you can internalize that focus, you start to see why this is such a powerful strategy.
Right.
We're moving the press release from a complex, expensive public relations exercise
Right.
to a scalable, low-cost way to distribute content and proactively support your local presence. You just have to remember the main audience here through the SEO lens. It's not a journalist.
It's the search engine spider.
It's a spider.
So let's start with the big question that I think stops people cold. Why would you bother spending time and effort to publish content that you know isn't going to drive referral traffic?
It feels counterintuitive.
It totally does, especially if you're used to traditional content marketing where every piece has to justify itself with clicks. What are the specific mechanisms that support local strategy, especially Google business profile visibility?
Well, what's so fascinating here is that the value isn't in the click at all. It's entirely in the signal. And maybe more importantly, how quickly and reliably that signal gets processed by Google.
Okay.
So the first advantage we noted is just fast crawling and indexation. Press release domains, even the free ones, they have established domain strength. They have trust with search engines.
They've been around forever.
Forever. So when you publish a release, Google's crawlers find it incredibly fast. Compare that to publishing a new page on a small business website.
That could take days, weeks even.
It could. So the press release acts like a high-speed lane for telling Google about new information.
I see the logic. So if I just launched a new service or I'm trying to validate a new service area, I can use the press release to just rapidly signal that to Google systems?
Instead of just waiting.
Right, instead of waiting for Google to eventually find my updated service page.
Precisely. And that rapid signaling, that leads directly to the second, and I'd argue the most important, advantage for local SEO.
Which is?
Entity and brand validation.
Okay, explain that.
Think of your business entity in the Google universe, all the stuff that makes up your knowledge graph profile as a person.
Okay.
Every time you publish a release that explicitly names your brand, your service, and your geographic area, you are basically filing official paperwork that confirms those 3 things belong together.
So you're constantly associating the entity, which is your brand, with a specific attribute, service X, in a specific location, city Y.
You're just making the connection so explicit that Google's algorithm can't ignore it. It makes your local business profile more robust, less ambiguous. It's like you're creating a detailed, multi-source digital resume for the business.
That's a great way to put it. You're building out a trusted, crawlable profile that just supports and validates what Google already knows.
It deepens Google's confidence in your business as a legitimate local entity.
And the third one, which is just incredibly vital for local visibility, is link and citation diversity.
Huge.
We're always talking about the importance of accurate NAP name, address, phone citations everywhere. And these releases, they create trusted, crawlable citations and links.
Yes. Most small local businesses, they rely on a handful of directory listings, maybe a few social profiles.
That's about it.
Press releases diversify that source list dramatically. They add layers of authority, and they show Google that many different strong domains are all reporting the same facts about your business.
And that diversity is a huge ranking factor.
A huge one.
And finally, just tying this back to the budget for, for you listening, the source material notes this is a highly cost-effective SEO support method.
It really is.
We're finding scalable, low-cost ways to distribute that content and build those signals without needing some massive PR budget. The ROI is measured in ranking stability and local visibility, not in press mentions.
That's the key.
Okay, so that really solidifies the why. But whenever you introduce a powerful tool, you have to talk about the guardrails.
Always.
Because if the strategy is used incorrectly, or if expectations aren't managed, the whole thing can just fall completely flat. And here's where it gets really interesting, because understanding the limits is key to success. So what are the necessary guardrails?
We have to be crystal clear on the disadvantages, especially in the context of what a client or, business owner might expect.
Okay.
This is not a magic bullet.
Right.
You just have to accept up front that there will be little to no referral traffic.
Zero.
And absolutely no guaranteed media pickup. If you are tracking the success of this based on clicks and Google Analytics, you are going to think the whole thing failed.
I think that's the biggest mindset shift. You have to divorce the traditional marketing ROI from the SEO ROI. If someone does this hoping for a flood of direct traffic,
They are setting themselves up for massive disappointment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Furthermore, the sources make it clear that this strategy requires proper optimization to be effective.
You can't just mail it in.
No, you can't just rewrite your About Us page and submit it. The content has to be carefully structured, tightly geo-optimized, and focused explicitly on validating the keywords, services, and locations you want your entity to be associated with.
And if it's generic or spammed.
It's ineffective. It's a waste of time.
And beyond those general downsides, the sources gave some really explicit warnings about what we must not claim or imply.
Yes, these are the critical avoidances. You have to keep them in mind to maintain credibility. First, do not frame this as a replacement for comprehensive SEO. It's a supporting tool, the foundational layer.
It's not the whole house.
Not at all. Second, do not suggest press releases alone will rank a business. They reinforce, they validate, but they don't replace strong on-page optimization.
Okay, what's third?
Third, and this is crucially important since we're about to dive into the free options, do not imply that paid distribution is required for this to work. The clear benefits we've discussed, totally achievable at zero cost.
And the last one.
Finally, you must never claim media exposure is the primary goal. Even if a release happens to get picked up, we focus solely on the indexation and the entity value.
That establishes a really clear boundary. Let's talk platforms then. For the average local business or the learner doing this for themselves, which category is the real workhorse? It has to be the free and freemium options, right?
Yeah.
The foundational backbone.
Without a doubt, these sites are ideal for ongoing local support because the goal is consistency and scale at the lowest possible price point. We should focus on the patterns here, the specific utility of these platforms.
Let's do it.
We could look at three that kind of represent different strengths. Let's start with PRLog. If speed is your priority, getting that signal to Google right now, PRLog is a really strong starting point.
Because it's free.
It's completely free to publish, and it's noted for its very fast crawl and index times. We are talking hours, sometimes minutes.
Wow. Compared to days for other sites. So why is PRLog so good at indexation?
Part of it comes down to its longevity and how it structures its internal archives. It has a strong internal linking system that search engines just love to crawl.
Ah, I see.
This makes it excellent for geo-optimized local releases, announcing new service launches, or foundational updates. If you're launching a new plumber service in a specific neighborhood, PRLog is your first publication point to notify Google immediately.
Pass signal delivery at zero cost. That's a fantastic advantage. Okay, now moving to OpenPR. What's its specific function in our stack?
OpenPR also has a reliable free posting option, but its specific utility is more about the structure of the output. It produces this very clean, straightforward HTML output, which is excellent for search engine parsing.
So Google can read it easily.
Very efficiently. When Google sees that clean code, it reads the content, especially the links and address citations, with no trouble. So it's best for that sustained service plus location relevance reinforcement.
Got it.
You're just consistently telling Google, this brand provides this exact service in this area, and OpenPR is a clean conveyor belt for that repetitive, valuable signal.
I can visualize that. If PRLog is the speedboat, OpenPR is the efficient cargo ship just delivering clean data consistently. And then there's PR.com. What niche does that fill?
So PR.com offers free submissions, though sometimes they have an approval process for quality control. It's noted specifically for having strong business profile association and reliable indexation. It's often viewed by search engines as a slightly more authoritative, almost like a business directory hybrid.
Interesting.
So this makes it perfect for brand announcements, company milestones, and just overall entity reinforcement. It solidifies the existence of the company as a credible, established entity. If you have a business name change or a major office move, PR.com should be a priority.
And we should probably briefly mention others like online PR news or press release point. We aren't trying to exhaust the list, but why are they important to have in the rotation?
They're crucial for that fourth pillar. Diversification. No local SEO strategy should rely on just 3 platforms. The source material really emphasizes that a good rotating stack of these free tools provides plenty of citation signals and link diversity.
So you create a robust multi-source profile.
Exactly. You publish, you rotate the platform, and you maximize the spread of your entity's signals.
That seems incredibly effective for achieving our 4 core goals without even touching the marketing budget. So since the free tool seems so robust for this, when does paying for distribution ever make sense for a small local business? Why would you upgrade?
The word to remember here is selectively. Paid platforms are optional upgrades. They are not requirements for achieving that baseline local visibility.
Okay.
They come into play when, say, 3 specific things happen. First, when a client upgrades their budget and expects wider, verifiable syndication.
The client wants to see more links.
Exactly. Second, when you're targeting an extremely competitive geographic area. And third, when compliance or detailed reporting is necessary.
So give me a real-world scenario where the cost of a paid distribution is justified purely by an SEO benefit.
It's often about authority stacking and getting reach into specific vertical networks. A platform like EIN Presswire is a strong example of an optional upgrade. They offer paid distribution with strong indexing, but crucially, they provide better industry and geographic targeting.
Okay, so it's more precise.
It is. If you're an industrial client trying to reinforce entity signals within a very new B2B vertical, paying for EIN Presswire often gets you inclusion on specialized news aggregators that the free platforms just won't reach.
I see. So that makes it excellent for high-value campaigns and adding a higher perceived authority signal.
Which agencies often require to justify a higher retainer.
And what about something like IssueWire? Is that in the same category?
That's more of an easy upgrade path. If you start on their free plan and later decide you need more visibility and reach, say you need to publish monthly at scale, upgrading to their paid plan, it's just an easy administrative path to wider syndication.
So you don't have to learn a new platform. Now, let's talk about the absolute ceiling. We need to set clear expectations on budget and scale, especially for you, the learner, just getting started. This is where we run into the enterprise players.
Absolutely. The source material references true enterprise-level platforms like Globe Newswire and BusinessWire. To be very clear,
Okay.
these platforms can cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars per release. They are designed for large, publicly traded companies.
Right. Companies that need regulatory compliance, investor relations coverage.
Guaranteed distribution across massive media networks like Reuters or Bloomberg. We have to stress that these platforms are considered extreme overkill for most local SEO in most cases.
So it's not required.
Not at all. It's not required to achieve the entity and indexation goals we've outlined using that free backbone.
So what does this all mean? We started this deep dive with a stack of PR platforms, and we were initially looking at them through the lens of media, pickup, and traffic. And we've realized they're actually tools for influencing search engine infrastructure.
That's the takeaway.
The core conclusion we've drawn is, I think, a huge relief for anyone working with a small budget. Press releases are a powerful, scalable, supporting SEO tool.
Supporting tool.
And the free platforms we discussed, PRLog, OpenPR, PR.com, and their peers, are often more than enough for robust local SEO support. The real value isn't in the cost or the distribution reach.
No.
It comes from 3 things: content quality, diligent geo-optimization, and above all, consistency.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the knowledge you've gained here allows you to move past just simple reactive publication and towards a systematic strategy.
What does that look like?
Well, now that you understand the true mechanism indexation and entity reinforcement, The next logical step is to explore how to systematically map those releases directly to observable Google Business Profile ranking improvements.
So you can actually track the impact.
You should be thinking about implementing a detailed press release rotation schedule, one that ensures you hit all your core entity signals throughout the year without burning out your budget.
I love that.
That shifts the focus from a one-off task to an integrated, ongoing tactical advantage that truly leverages these underutilized systems. So keep digging into that systematic, repeatable approach because that's where you'll unlock the true power of this stack.